Welcome to Valencia in Spain and the launch of the Honda CB1100. Honda's advertising for the CB1100 links it with the original CB754, which revolutionised motorcycling on its launch in 1969. Can't blame them for that, although in fact the CB1100 is more similar in both its styling and its double overhead camshaft engine layout to the CB750FZ and the CB900F models that followed at the end of the 70s. The 16-valve motor has a capacity of 1140cc. It's cooled by oil around its cylinder head as well as by air. Its maximum output of 89 horsepower isn't much for a modern 4-cylinder engine of that capacity, but the CB unit is built for low rev performance, produces its maximum torque at just 5,000 RPM. The chassis layout says 1970s as a pair of flared jeans. The engine's partially rubber mounted and a tubular steel frame with twin down tubes. Suspension comes from 41mm forks and an old-fashioned pair of shocks, which are adjustable only for spring preload. The speedo and rev counter have Honda's traditional green faces, and they add some retro style along with chrome mudguards and wing tank badges. The wide, raised one-piece handlebar gives an upright riding position, but I was slightly surprised to pull away and find the footrest reasonably high and quite rear set, giving quite a sporty feel. That's misleading though, because once you're underway, the Honda's personality is that of a gentle, softly tuned retro bike. It swishes smoothly along, accelerating obediently with a flawless throttle response, feeling about as aggressive as a well-fed Labrador. Few bikes are better suited to the ageing, born-again riders who are this bike's target customers. On the open road, there's not much point in revving the engine to its 8,500 RPM redline. Power tails off before then, so you're better off changing up early through the 5-speed gearbox and using that mid-range performance. Top speed is about 120 miles an hour, and the Honda's happy to cruise smoothly at 70 until you get tired of fighting the breeze. The chassis also contributes to the Honda's unhurried personality, although the bike's more manageable than I'd expected, given that it weighs almost 250 kilos with fuel, so almost 550 pounds. The wide bars give plenty of leverage for flicking through traffic. Suspension's soft enough to give good ride quality, but well enough damp to make the Honda fun when you get to some twisty roads. The narrow tyres help it steer without needing too much force on the bars, despite the 18-inch diameter wheels having the opposite effect. The narrow Bridgestone tyres work reasonably well, although they don't have as much grip as the fatter rubber you get on most big bikes these days. Braking is very much up to standard. The Nissan setup has 4-piston front calipers and an excellent combined ABS system, so this Honda has much more stopping power than the rider of an old CB750 could ever dream of. The 1100 is also fairly practical by naked bike standards, even though its tank holds less than 15 litres, so limiting realistic range to about 100 miles. It's a nicely finished bike with paintwork in red, black or white. Of course, there's no way this bike is ever going to get close to making the impact of that original CB750. Honda sold more than 400,000 of those things. It gets my vote as the greatest bike ever produced. The CB1100 offers vaguely similar style, along with respectable performance, Honda's quality and efficiency, and a pretty reasonable price. If that's what you want from a motorbike, well, you could do an awful lot worse.